But here's the deal. All of us, we live our lives by sorting out different commitments and responsibilities. It looks a little like this. It might be hard for you to read, but you're dating or you're married. That's one of your commitments and responsibilities. Maybe you're raising children. That's another commitment and responsibility. Your friends, trying to keep up and build those relationships. That's another commitment and responsibility. Hobbies. Just fill in the blank. This is riding motorcycles. This is playing golf. This is playing tennis. This is woodworking, whatever your hobbies might be. You got your job, your career. That's a really important part of the expression of your life, your lifestyle, your money, your health, your faith. And so all of us, we distribute our life in these sorts of responsibilities and categories. And here's the deal. So we can think of this as maybe like a wheel. And these are the spokes of the wheel. But just to keep it more interesting, you can think about this as like a pizza. And all of our pizzas have these slices in them that represent various pursuits of our life. Does it make sense? Now here's what we need to know about us as human beings. Every single one of us, we distribute time, energy, and money toward each one of these things. However you slice the pie in your life, you are distributing time and energy. You leverage time, energy, and money toward them, ready? Based on their perceived value. So the ones that you perceive as having the greatest value are the ones that will receive the most of your time, energy, and money. Does that make sense? And so if we're really honest in evaluating our life, what we do is we look at all these responsibilities and commitments and we say, where's most of my time going? Where's most of my energy leveraged? Where's most of my money being invested? Because what that does is it reveals what's truly of greatest worth to you. Are you following me? Now, here's what I find. This is just 30 years of being a pastor. This is like 50 some years of being a Christian. What I have found is that most people have lots of time and energy for these things, but when it comes to faith with Jesus, he always gets the leftovers. He always gets the least amount of time, energy, the least amount of our investment. He's usually at the bottom of the list. I'll get to him if there's time. I'll get to him if I weren't so tired. And so what we say in our defense is we say, well, I'm too busy to be at church. I don't have enough energy at the end of the day to read my Bible. I don't really have time for prayer. That's not because you don't have enough time or because you don't have enough energy. What that means is that he's just not worth that much to you. You have time for television. You have time for those hobbies. You have energy for those friendships. But if Jesus keeps getting the short end of the stick, the bottom of the pile, the leftovers of time and energy, what we're declaring, this is for me as much as it is for you. What we're declaring is, he's not worth that much to me. And that's a revelation then of just the extent of our devotion to Jesus and the place that he holds in our life. So really the picture needs to change if we're going to understand that Christ is the single most important priority of our life. And it looks like this. That our faith just isn't relegated to like a dimension of our life, an arena of our life. It becomes our life, and everything from our life comes from this, the hub. That Jesus informs my marriage and my dating. If you're married, you shouldn't be dating, because that wouldn't be consistent. You're going to have a date with your, yeah. Oh. Could I have an usher? Yes, you can have a date with your wife. You understood what I was saying. All right. Jesus informs how we should be raising our children. Jesus informs to what degree we're going to let our job and our career dominate our priorities and our energy, to where we give so much of it to our job, but we don't have enough of it for our marriage or enough for our children. How many times have I watched professionals abdicate the responsibility when it comes to morality and ethics because it helps them with their career, but it compromises their faith to Christ? So Christ becomes the center of my life because I'm devoted to him, and everything else assumes its proper place of priority to that first. Did you follow that? Folks, if you're feeling uncomfortable, that's okay. That's the opportunity for you to sit back. I mean, you've carved out 35 minutes in your entire week to sit here and go, okay, let me think about my life. Well, don't deceive yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Just be honest and say, is Christ really at the top of the list, my highest priority? Or is this little exercise just revealed that I've got some realignment to do? It's okay. That's why we're here. We're all working on our lives being better shaped to look like the life that Christ calls us to.